right. Well, hopefully we got a exciting game coming up on our hands between our very own MSU Maroon team and USC. No, did he not
White.
change the name? Sorry,
White.
UNC White team. Got the wrong name. I'm Ajax on the Overwatch White team, and this is my co-host.
I'm Maan. I'm also known as MrMaan by most people because that's just what it looks like. But I'm also a B team Overwatch player from MSU White, and I'm a support player, just like Ajax. All right. So we got our Captain Panda Kai. He's our tank player.
Tank player.
He's the ball, big ballin'.
He very much does be ballin'. I mean, I've seen him just consistently swag out on Junker Queen. So hopefully we get to see a little bit of that because that's always exciting to watch. But with the current meta, might be seeing a little more Orisa or his name's Sigma. Might probably will see one of those two tanks being played.
I know when I
But
watch
go on.
I know when I watch a teammate Grimmer play. He's the DPS player, and when I do watch him play, he plays a really good Genji. He absolutely pops off, I guess.
I mean, honestly, Grimmer is probably the wild card of this team.
Yeah,
He's the
he's
guy
fun to
that's
watch play, though.
He is very fun to watch play. He's able to just make out some big plays that can completely change the tide of a team fight. Well, not to diss on his partner Vex, but Vex is just an all-around very solid DPS player, consistently putting out high numbers, but Gremmer is a little more fluctuating, where his peaks are much higher, but his average is not quite as strong as Vex's.
It's not as
But Shark and
consistent.
Vanilla are just solid support players. I haven't really.
They have good chemistry together. They have good coordination with the tank and the rest of their team.
Absolutely. I mean, with the opponent team, I unfortunately we don't really know their players, but I'm expecting some big things out of them. From what I can tell, they seem to be pretty solid on their roles, and hoping they have decent enough coordination to give our team at least a bit of a challenge, not make it too easy for them.
I'm interested to see what comp MSU uses today.
Yeah, I mean, seeing what comp they play is going to be very interesting because comp v comp can just completely change on how these player matchups will play out ultimately. But it seems like we're going to be going into Lijiang Tower on our first match, and there's a good variety of comps that can be effectively played on this map, and so hopefully we do see at least more than just a single comp being played. And it seems like we're hopefully getting into the match soon.
There we go.
All right.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
All right. So, I mean, starting in with the initial comp that we can see, we're starting with the fairly standard comp for a bit of a brawl on both sides.
Oh.
Maybe not. Panda just swapped to ball, but
Panda
on
ball.
UNC side, that's the standard Ramontra, Sim, Sojourn, Lucio, and Mora. Sim is probably just there to put out TP and swap off. Yeah, it seems like both teams are doing that. Yeah, both teams are doing that. So we Grammar on the Tracer, that's very interesting. MSU already quickly takes right side, but a brawl is just incurring on the left side bridge.
They seem to be melting the tank pretty good.
UNC just seems like they can't really get much of a footing. MSU just got Grammar just got himself gapped, but I mean,
you're trying to make him space.
Mantra's Nemesis form being used, that's major, gets massive progress out of that. MSU gets pushed off a point. But yeah, MSU just got pushed off that point by UNC, and
to regroup, kind of regather together.
yeah, we just definitely gotta re-coordinate. Getting Grammar picked off such early in that fight was definitely not helpful for the team. So now the position is effectively been swapped with MSU now on the bridge and UNC on point. Pandakai just runs right in,
there,
pushing Mantra back. Lucio almost won more of gold, and Pandakai and Shark just died. Probably just looking to try to reset or back up, maybe. Yeah, MSU see if they... Ooh, that's not the type of stagger you want to be seeing from Grammar. So now MSU is just having to wait for Grammar just to get his positioning back on point. Now they're speeding in using the Kiriko ult. Lucio B comes in for UNC, that's massive, gives them a whole lot of sustain. Pandakai pops his ult.
That's big space.
Go on Lucio. MSU also pops their Lucio ult, so now they're quite even in ult usage this fight. And with the Ramontra dead, that's pretty safely MSU one fight.
Just the last one left.
And now Reaper's gone. UNC already at 77%. That's quite a high number, especially with them coming up on 4 out of their 5 ults, while MSU really only looking at their DPS ults. That Ramontra, I feel like, honestly, the Grammar's Pulse Bomb might just be massive. If he can get to pick
They are
pick
playing
or two,
really
and
grouped up.
completely,
Yeah.
they're playing really grouped up. This is certainly something you want to be seeing from Grammar. Seems like he might be trying to do that.
I feel like Pandakai, he tried to do exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say he might try to push off the map when he gets that pocket area.
Grammar pops his ult, but it doesn't get anybody. MSU's sort of on the back burner after both the Coalescence, and that's just basically every ult's been popped from UNC, pushing MSU off point. Grammar's just stalling for what percentage he can get left, and he's ultimately pushed off. So now UNC has the point control, but they only have the Sojourn ult, while MSU has come up on both Orisa and Kiriko. Grammar swaps to Echo, probably to get some better pick damage than the Tracer. The Kiriko ult popped in. Panda Kai is just running on in, trying to put damage. She pops his ult, gets everybody caught in that. Massive kill on Mora.
Mora down, Soldier down.
Well, 2 DPS players.
Lucio's dead.
Yeah, and with the Lucio, it's just Ram. And
is.
MSU sweeps off UNC to take the point. UNC's only really looking at a Lucio ult. That's at 88%. He'll probably get that, but MSU also has that. So really, ult economy is quite even. But Vex is coming upon his railgun pretty quickly. Already at 70%, so
we can see Panic
yeah,
playing a little bit more
running up,
aggressive
trying to get that better. UNC goes to the bridge to try to take point. They hop on, pushing Panikai a little bit back, focusing on the
Reaper's dead.
Reaper already dead. That crew or Cassidy was 1 health. He almost died right there, and
Lucio's almost dead.
And with that, the point seems pretty firmly
takes this round.
Yeah, MSU massive comeback from that
Reaper was
70
just a
to
little
18%.
Yeah.
Able to take that point after it was already at
they were
such a high
20
percent.
Yeah, I think they were at 22% after the first push of the enemy team, so
Ready for battle.
they did really good to come back for that.
Why? Is Vishkar doing research on me or something?
I honestly think the enemy team should play a little bit more spaced out rather than grouped up all together. Maybe they have a couple...
I feel that sentiment. I feel like it's just focus coordination. They seem a little more dispersed on who they're wanting to focus.
Yeah, but at the
Both
same
teams start out with that
time,
symbol point, but UNC sim points onto point rather than getting early progress, setting up. That provides a little bit of a backlash for MSU to try to walk in, not give them as much free space. That Mora taking the javelin possibly almost got them a free kill right there. Grimmer runs right in, and with the Mora
Tank is dead.
That's absolutely massive. MSU just has to play it safe here, not to throw their lives away, and they should get this. Grimmer runs in.
We have everybody off objective.
Shark almost got a double loop there. That would have been beautiful, but UNC is just pushed back. Not much of a loss of life, so MSU didn't get too much ult charge for free there. I mean, ooh, Vex already at half.
The tank is already half.
Tank is just taking a whole lot of early damage. On both sides. Joe almost
got out of there.
there.
He got it just in time. Yeah.
Big. Ooh, Joe already dead. Sharks probably, Sharks also picked off. MSU's just walking it back, trying to not give up too much ult charge to UNC for effectively free. But with that, UNC's now captured the point. So we're going to see what MSU does when they regroup.
We got a good solid
MSU's at already 5 ults, so yeah. Ooh, 2 ults popped on MSU of both the Pulse Bomb and Orisa ult, but 12
that
times.
Mora ult's still going on though.
Yeah, all times both support ults from UNC. Sojourn pops her railguns.
Sojourn's very low.
Just got taken down. Everyone's so low.
Both DPS are dead.
Double kill with the Magnate. And it's just, and it's just Shark now. MSU unfortunately took that loss on that fight, so UNC's just taking up some even more free point charge.
But if they get back a little bit faster,
if he can get a free kill,
their DPS are still running back.
Yeah, both teams seem fully grouped up now. MSU still has both that Kiriko ult and the Kree ult, Cassidy.
They got Soldier on low.
Both DPS already
DPS are
dead.
down.
Not the best Orisa ult from UNC. Orisa just dies, and just how much point ticks they can try to fiend off. In a similar situation, we see from last round with the near 70% on UNC. Well, MSU's just at half point. It's in. Yeah, it's like that. Seems both teams are just brawling out. Pandakai
flashing into
threatening
each other.
to just run in. Grammar goes in, gets a big pulse bomb, but more of
That,
face
Lucio,
out.
that Lucio's immediately
So
gone. No longer in the fight.
Yeah, with 2 kills right there.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, but Lucio managed to kill Vex there. That's a big stagger. Just pick. It seems like Shark is going back to spawn to taxi him back, so MSU's going to be playing this a little bit safer than they otherwise would have if Bradley Chi did not get that pick. But it seems like this is
Oh boy, here comes a big ult.
big double. Top 7.
We got that Lucio
Double-
dead, that's huge.
Double Lucio beat. That's. But I mean, with numbers favoring
Slow it
MSU
down.
here, trying to keep Orisa off point to not even get the touch, and yeah, with that MSU takes first map. That was well played, but definitely saw some flaws in both teams. I mean, I don't want to be dissing Grammar, but he did just
think
get
if
taken
the-
down a few times.
With the
Unnecessarily.
enemy team, if they want to succeed, they might have to switch comps completely, because with both teams just colliding into each other, it's just back and forth, back and forth.
I don't think so.
Intermission.
It seems like UNC. Wait. Can they hear me? Okay. Okay. I didn't know if I would mute. So it seems like UNC is picking the map, and it seems like they picked King's Row. That's a map that can easily go for either a brawl or a dive comp. I mean, personally, I'm hoping to see some Reinhardt, although sadly, I don't think we'll get to see that.
It's very unlikely.
Oh yeah, for those unaware, the difference between the dive comp is much more mobility focused and a lot more have mobility heavy. They're able to get to high ground a lot quicker. Like from last game, the hero Gremmer was on Tracer and Shark was on Lucio. They're both able to play in a dive comp really effectively, as they both have high mobility, while the Orisa that Panda Kai was playing is a lot more brawl focused, as Orisa does not have the same level of mobility, so she's more of a brawl comp.
And I think in
But, I
this
mean-
case, the dive comp, you could also just target one hero at a time and just take the whole team out that way if they're spaced out. But
Yeah,
with the
definitely.
But if, depending on the comp the other team's playing, if they're playing grouped up very, it's hard to get that pick off right off the bat.
Yeah, dive comp is a lot more effectively able to get that focus fire. So able to just exploit the weaknesses and bad positioning of somebody on the enemy team. And honestly, I'm expecting some probably just Orisa or Ramantra again, maybe even a Malga for King's Row. Hanakai, I know he's pretty good on both of those heroes, but I don't know. It's
Anybody
kind of
even
tough
say-
to call what's going on through his mind. I'm not too personally familiar with Pandakai's exact play style, so it's tough to decide what his on the shot call is to do.
Now entering King's Row.
With us entering game, it seems like MSU is starting on attack,
Initiating match.
so they're going to be trying to. I mean, I feel like the choke point right before the statue is going to be probably the toughest point to get past on first point, especially if UNC decides to pull out a May pick that's able to just stop their tank from pushing more effectively, cutting him off from the rest of their team.
Ready
So with this,
for
we see
battle.
MSU is going to be doing a dive comp with the Winston and Kiriko, and Grimmer's starting out on Widow. Probably
We
will
also got-
swap, but UNC is
also
going to be
got a
starting
lot
out
of
on that May pick.
It's always interesting to see a Life Weaver on the team.
As a Lifeweaver one trick, I mean, I do feel like Shark's just going to be swapping off. That's probably more of a pick to get Vexed up to the high ground off spawn. But Pandakai pops Bubble on top, so that gives them early warning of the Winston.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend.
Never mind, Pandakai. All my calls were wrong. Shark is staying on the Lifeweaver, and Pandakai swaps over to Orisa. Grimmer went for an early pick. Never mind. Okay.
Shark actually switched to Lucio.
Yeah,
And,
Shark and Grimmer swapped to Lucio and Tracer, and now it's just a brawl over Orisa and Sojourns. Vex takes early high ground. That's pretty massive. Grimmer hops in, and yeah, with the UNC's Sojourn just getting picked off. Basically, such an
They're pushing
early
the whole
fight.
team back.
Yeah, just pushing them all the way back to mid-second point. Just continuing to take pressure while only leaving one person to continue to cap point. That's really ballsy, but really could be massive for MSU if it does go how they want. But Pandakai does get picked off in the process, so MSU's
They did
running
manage to
back
cap
to
the
see what they
objective
can
there.
get. Yeah, with touching early objective 1 cap, that's massive
almost 7
momentum
minutes
for
on the clock.
Yeah, with 6 minutes 40 seconds. That's
No, I know
pretty
Grim is
big
trying to
for-
poke at the team.
I mean, just the brawls going on right now. As the payload's just slowly pushing up, UNC seeing what they can get. UNC already has, and with pause. Well, I mean, talk about ults. UNC's looking at both of their support ults coming up, while MSU has all their damage dealing ults. So, I mean, I'm sort of expecting Pandakai to just get speed boost in and pop his Orisa ult to group up the entirety of the enemy team. Oh, that's unfortunate.
I think
It seems like there was
Uh,
a setting issue where it was set
it
on
was quick play instead of
it was quick play, not competitive settings. Which, yeah, I think that's a forced restart. That's so.
So
I mean,
basically-
for competitive, it's both teams are.
both teams
sorry.
get to pick both attack and defense. While in quick play, it's randomized. You just get one or the other. It's not exactly a full game. It's more like half a game in terms of like competitive play. It gives both teams a fair chance of having both sides of the field. I think the only game modes that take like a not comp is like just the basic like Lijiang Tower out of the first game, that's the same as just regular quick play, as it would be competitive. So game modes like
Yeah,
that
only
really don't
certain
matter.
game modes are the same in both competitive and comp.
Now
But on
entering King's
Escort,
Row.
Assault, and hybrid maps, King's Row, a hybrid map, they're very much a massive difference. It basically changes the entire perspective of how you defend or how you attack the game. And with that lobby miss setup, that's really unfortunate for MSU because that was really big and early progress that they had. Already we're coming up on 3 of their ults while having massive time in the bank.
Oh.
That
might be kind of unfortunate since they might figure out a counter MSU after the little intermission of them changing the game mode again.
I mean, I feel like that's a bit more mixed because it also gives MSU the opportunity to try to outsmart UNC to either counterplay them or to think about how they would counterplay them.
Initiating match.
Seems like we got a little sneak peek into possibly what UNC was wanting to do. Maybe a Junker Queen and Sombra comp. That'd be a lot more interesting than the Orisa comp that we've so far been seeing all of today.
Ready for battle.
And unfortunately for us, that was to hide what they were actually playing. They're sticking right back to the Orisa. So not too much of a comp change on either side. Yeah, they're playing exact same heroes on both sides. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. With the same comp on both sides, it's sort of just a matter of who can play better. And I think that's where MSU is wanting to go into, especially with Vex just able to get early and massive pressure.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It seems like sides are swapping where MSU is now on defense. So they're wanting to not let UNC get an early progress that they had early
half their
on.
team is pushing to the left, fighting Grimmer and Shark.
Yeah, both teams are very split off and just not in a great way.
You
Grimmer
can see that Vex is getting some long-range damage with that railgun. It's pushing them back into spawn, honestly. See Tracer trying to come out a little bit to push the left into voting.
with such an early just free kills, Panda Kai and Grimmer are already so much more progressed to their ults than UNC is. Seems like UNC is wanting to go left side through the hotel, but
that was an amazing pick from Vex.
That was. It seems like UNC is just not coordinated. They're playing split up when they really want to be playing together with this Lucio speed boost.
We could see that their supports like Kiriko just got cut off from the rest of their team as soon as one of them died.
Yeah, just losing a support player, especially early on, is not what you want to have happen for your team. They actually do group up and go through the hotel on left side. Panda Kai pops in and uses his ult. Both time Kiriko
that kind of
protects that Lucio there. Bremer gets a massive double
Vex
kill.
gets the pick. The Vex gets a pick from the team's done. The tank was dead. The healers were dead. And then,
yeah, and with that, this was a 3-1 fight using only 2 ults from MSU. Well, UNC is not even at their first ult yet. Both Kirikos are very close to getting their rushes up, and Grummer is trying to sneak up behind. see if they can get any free kill. Their Tracer is in really bad positioning, yeah, and just gets pincered by both Shark and Grandma.
We can see that Vex almost has his railguns. He has them now. I wonder if he'll use them now. Probably not, since the whole team is retreating back in spawn. That is insane.
Oh yeah, and MSG just touches spawn again. That's pure UNC. You don't really want to be seeing this. Dude, try to get a little bit of a change. Seems like UNC is gonna fall to Sigma instead of Orisa. That leans into a bit more of a poke play style to try to enable their Sojourn and not play right up. Both rushes are popped, and Vex is already down. That's really big for UNC. They have the numbers advantage. They just don't want to be losing anybody else. But
they're still split up.
and so many people are. Yeah. Seems like that Lucio beat just came up a little bit too slow. Not proper timing to save that Sigma.
Their team is just retreating back into spawn again.
Yeah, and they're just. Yeah, that's just. They had such a great opportunity to get a win.
Especially since
I know we're biased and that we're MSU players, but
yeah,
UNC really just fumbled on that opportunity that was presented to them. With 3 ults, Grimmer pops his ult, and yeah, that's just Sojourn dead again. One of the 2 ults. But Grimmer does get reverse ult bomb. Now he's dead.
He caught it back.
Really, that's really the opportunity for them now. It seems like the Sojourn railguns on both sides is going to be what's massive, but Shark has speed.
Tracer's trying to peek in and out of hotels.
UNC needs to be focusing Shark, and Shark gets his beat off, so you know, with that, Vex is just able to deal massive damage to the rest of the team, and it's just a...
And Grandma's already back, and the whole
That's a
team is
full
dead
hold
again.
for MSU.
Yeah. All they have to do is get that first third of the objective, and they win. 4-2.
Score 0-0.
Yeah, so UNC is going to probably change up their playstyle, maybe even whip out the Bastion to try to hold on a little bit stronger. Or I could be wrong and going to the Bastion is wrong play and it'd just be getting into their heads. But, I mean, phenomenal performance from MSU, really. Just were able to come back from their weakest points where they almost had the opportunity to just lose the point, but with some well-played positioning, angle, and picks from particularly Vex this game and Pandakai, just they were able to take back what was almost a loss and were able to full hold them. Seems like UNC is going to be playing into the poke comp style, poke play style. With the poke play style, they're wanting
to see how this
Reinhardt
plays out.
I am excited for the Reinhardt, though. That's going to be interesting from MSU, from Pandakai particularly.
4, 3, 2.
And personally,
honest,
I hope Shark stays on Graham. I hope he stays. Do they both swap? Yeah, they both swap.
Reinhardt's not something you see very often, especially in a very competitive match.
I mean, yeah, this is the Nace playoffs, so it would decide who'd go further in this tournament. So MSU is wanting that. Already get the high ground with Vex having his railgun shot. The Sigma able to reposition his shield to just push them off. Now they've basically swapped sides.
Well, swap sides. We just have we have Remo in the back taking care of.
Already dead. Yeah. They're just holding them off point, and both DPS and dead. And that's basically
Sigma
it.
dies. Yep, there it is.
With just the Kiriko, that's MSU gets that map pretty single-handedly. Very confident. That was really well played from.
They only needed to take the first objective, so that's why they.
This ends now.
Oh, we can see that clip from Vex here right at the very end.
Yeah, I think Vex was really the standout player from MSU this round.
Yeah, especially the first half because he was getting those long range pick damages.
Him just being able to stand on high ground the entirety
Whole
of it
time.
and just
Yeah.
free
Pretty
damage,
much.
constant pressure
Oh,
on
and it was
UNC.
like almost uncontested. Maybe the other soldier would come out and focus him a little bit, but
Seems like UNC is going to be swapping in a separate player and wanting to choose Saravasa for the next game mode. That's going to be Flashpoint, the newest game mode added to Overwatch, which is very similar to Control, except Control like a Lijiang Tower we saw the first match, except it's just a lot more consistent, less of a stop between each capture point, and a lot more fast paced.
yeah, I was thinking it was kind of like it doesn't swap every time we capture a point, it just keeps on going. Allowing the players to keep their ults and just push to the next objective as soon as they can.
Yeah, I think Servaso, more of anything, is probably going to be just a test of team coordination, when to leave fights and when to properly take them. Especially with the capture point taking up so much quicker than Control, with it being 1 second for 1 point, while Control, I believe, is closer to 3 seconds for 1 point. I mean, Servasa's fairly dynamic point where, or fairly dynamic map where really any playstyle can be played and effective on much of it, really.
Initiating match.
All right, loading into the map. Oh, first point's always going to be Marketplace, which is just dead center of the map, and it can really be played towards any comp playstyle except really dive, so probably not going to see too much of the Winston or Doomfist on either side. Likely more of Orisa, really. Maybe a Ramantra.
Ready for battle.
Except Pandakai may have other ideas. Most a big comp change with the Wrecking Ball, Genji, Hanzo, and Baptiste instead of what they previously had. Seems like
Technical
we're having
difficulties on the
more
field.
technical difficulties. I mean, with Panda's graphics card seemingly failing him twice so far this match, might have to set up a GoFundMe to get him a new one. Really, that's the second time. But I mean, to elaborate on their or UNC's player swap, it seems like they're bringing in a new tank player than the previous one they had, which very well could lead to a much different match than what we previously have seen these past two games. All right, it seems like Pandakai's now fixes difficulties, at least for right now, so we should be able to get right back into watching the gameplay. I mean, hopefully he doesn't crash again, but if he does, at the very least, MSU does have the sub-in of my team captain, Jubbin, to be able to play that tank role. And with that, it seems like MSU, or not MSU. Ooh. Okay, yeah, Pandakai's sticking on the ball pick. And
Let's see if we can see some
Pandakai's
of
signature
those.
wrecking ball.
Oh boy.
He left again. We have more production issues.
All right, let's get a mid roll in here. Who's our sponsor again? There you go. What?
I mean, yeah, if they what is it, Twitch Prime? I mean, with this being the third time this match, I think we're just gonna be having a prediction on if you want to be using those Twitch points to see if Pandakai crashes again. That's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. Hopefully he doesn't pop. I mean, we just got confirmation that Jubbin will actually not be swapping in, at least for right now. So hopefully that means Pandakai's computer will be able to more consistently not crash.
Jobin has started spectating, so maybe they will put him in.
I mean, he swapped into the player role for just a moment, but went back to spectating. So I think that's a sign that they do expect Panda Kai to be able to play this one out without having to bring in their substitute player. I mean, hopefully Panda Kai loads back in right on cue, actually. Hopefully he doesn't crash again, even though the prediction is overwhelmingly not in his favor. That's sad for him, but not what you want to be seeing. Surely it won't happen again.
It's on the last
It is.
game too, maybe.
Hey, I mean, if specifically Vex is putting out numbers like we've been seeing him do, then very much, yeah, this could be the last game. Just ending really quickly for UNC, stopping them, I believe, from going further into Nace, or possibly dropping them to loser bracket. Sadly, I am unfamiliar with Nace's playoff rules. And the match has been restarted, so looks like we will be going back into it.
Initiating match.
I mean, with the sneak peek we saw possibly from earlier with the Orisa versus Ball, that's definitely going to be an interesting matchup. They go. And we have more production issues, I believe. Okay, hopefully this is the last time and we can actually be playing. Get to see a good match on our hands. I mean, first points, especially on Servasa, it's always going to be Marketplace on this middle map that's relatively open, but it's also pretty enclosed at the same time. It's a good mix where a lot of team comps can work, but dive is typically not what you see, although it seems like MSU is wanting to run the dive with Joe on Ball and Vanilla on Genji. It's going to be interesting to see.
I can't lie though, I'm interested to see what plays Vex could pull out with Hanzo.
I just realized what I said. Vanilla on Genji. Vanilla's their support player, and it seems like Grummer is now on Lucio. So they have swapped roles for this
To be
round.
fair, the times I've watched Grimmer, he has been practicing on Lucio, so he might be doing pretty good.
Grummer is definitely not a bad Lucio, but the Sojourn
Just
gets
a little
caught out of position, just far from their team, and Lucio's picked off as well. It's just the slow demise of UNC now. Waiting on, in a bit of a stagger on that Orisa. And
she had
yeah,
no option but to just stand still and take it.
I mean, Panikai already at 60% on his mines. That's a really quick ult charge rate. And very much could, with these tight corridors, especially on the point, could lock them into being in a bad position for UNC. Yeah, and just a quick 4K from MSU with using Panikai's ult in a way in the way it's intended to just deny a lot of mobility options for UNC. And with that, MSU takes the first flashpoint, which I believe it's first to 3, going to Ruins next. So both teams are making their way to start the fight there.
For this next fight, I think we got a decent amount of ults ready or almost ready, with the exception of Panikai. I know Vex has his right now.
Yeah, most players in the lobby have it, except for UNC's Cassidy as well as MSU's Pandakai. Just a lot of poke damage just being dealt from both sides, taking out some free mobility, using a lot of abilities, and MSU just is taking point. Grimmer's a little bit caught out of position. Vanilla pops his ult, while UNC's Lucio does the same. The back window from Shark. That's just... Yeah, and Vanilla quickly gets a 4K right there.
No matter what ult they use though, the MSU always just seems to come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, I do think it's... Not really sadly, but I do really think it's just... you're able to see a difference in skill between the two teams. The coordination from MSU, especially with the dive, being able to showcase the weaknesses that UNC has. I mean, Joe pops another minefield, removing their ability in escape, and with that, UNC loses another fight, but managing to take out Vanilla in the process. With the point already at 90%, I don't believe UNC will be able to contest this. He's probably hoping to get an early position on the next point.
I know. Vex is getting some headshots with his bow from that little peak spot he found. So I think in terms of competitive, the Flashpoint game modes ends when one team gets to 4 points.
I believe it's first to, it's best of 5, I believe. First to 3 map control. UNC's doing great, got 3 early picks while Vex pops his dragons. And so UNC just captures the point here, getting an early lead on this point versus MSU. Grimmer just gets a massive stagger on his hands. That's losing a lot of momentum that MSU would have otherwise have had to regain point control and pressure. Pandakai offered such a low health, good times. Baptiste's immortality field helped save him.
Ooh, that's
a nasty headshot. But both teams trading out a DPS player, but MSU has only 1 ult versus UNC's 4 options to do. Shark pops his bat window, which gives him a whole lot more pressure on the points of map that he can see.
Vex get picked off by the Reaper.
Ooh, that's really unlucky. UNC's Reaper tried to go in to pressure out Shark, but Pandakai had good rotation, good call out from Vex to come back and save him. Got an early pick there. UNC does actually get the point here, which is a really massive comeback for them. Really good pressure and presence on that control. But coming into this next fight, it seems like UNC has coming upon 3 ults, while MSU only is sort of close to 2 of them. While MSU is still waiting on 2 players, that early pick on Orisa is definitely changing how this is played.
It's definitely getting the team to back up a lot.
Yeah,
I
that
think
just
Panic
gives
is just trying to
MSU
make
free
some
points.
space.
So now UNC's waiting to regroup. Now that they have all of those players, they're gonna go in all grouped up. They have both Cassidy, High Noon close to Kiriko's rush.
I feel like as soon as they get that group together again, I think Vex should be able to pop his ult soon. There it is. It's a little out of position.
UNC was just able to capitalize on almost a misplay from Panda Kai going in a little too wide with the Immortality field, not able to save them there. And with losing the tank, that just gives a whole lot of momentum for UNC. So now they have the point really almost for free, only having to use that Kitsune Rush. While MSU did pop their dragons. Fights again, huge pick on the Kiriko.
Up here it is.
Tried to use the Reaper's Death Blossom to get a little bit of progress back, and yeah, and that's just over. MSU taking the point pretty quickly, only
And
losing Vanilla there
that-
at the cost of pretty much only the Lucio beat. So MSU's doing better in ult economy, fairly close to all of their ults except for Lucio beat, while UNC is still behind on 2 ults. Baptiste window comes
Oh.
up, giving a massive,
That comes-
yeah, just massive damage for Vex. That's 2 players gone.
I know they're grouped up right here. There's the beat. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to do very much since they already have 2 teammates down.
Yeah, it's not doing much. It's just the Lucio there to see if he can touch,
There it
and
is.
with that, that's just game over. MSU won that round, that game 3-1, or won the series 3-0. So that's just an outstanding performance for really all MSU players, and we're able to just really expose the weaknesses of UNC's team coordination.
Usually we get to see that Grimmer get to excel and pull a couple of plays out, but this time I feel like Vex took lead.
Yeah, sadly, this game we did not indeed get a grammar gap. If y'all sit tight here for just a moment, it seems like we're going to be getting an interview with one of our MSU players in just a moment.
Hi.
Welcome, Grimmer.
All right, so we got the phenomenal Gremmer, who was consistently playing the Tracer on most of those maps, except for on Saravasa, he swapped over to the Lucio. Really, what was your thought process, Gremmer, behind the role swap on you going on Lucio and Vanilla going on DPS?
I'm literally Frogger.
Okay, that's very ambitious. But overall, what
Just wanted
do you
to
have
move
any
people
like?
off the map.
I mean, that's fair. I believe I saw that happen once or twice.
Yeah, I did the heroic emote and then I did my rollout and pooped off the cast. So I was kind of hoping y'all saw that, but unlucky. No, but the first 2 maps we had some technical issues because Panda Kai is actually on a lab PC here, so I got to figure out what the issue with that is. But I really wanted to put in Jubbin. It's unfortunate that we cannot get a sub in.
I mean, I would have loved to see the Jubbin play. Him on Winston particularly is
We need to
always
get
a
the Jubbin
delight to
Winston.
watch.
Oh, if there's anybody else I want to interview, definitely pull them in. I do need to go to a scrim block now, actually.
I say we
Panda
pull in
Kai's up with
Vex.
the VC on for a second.
Yo, what's up? I'm out of the locker room.
All right, so yeah, we get an interview with MSU's team captain of Joe Pandakai.
Hey, what's up? That was a good match, huh?
I
Yep.
mean, yeah. Do you have any thoughts you want to be sharing?
Well, I kept on crashing, which you might have seen. My
Hey,
rendering
you beat the
device was
prediction there.
lost.
You beat the prediction.
Yeah,
It was 100% that you would crash again.
we
But
say stream director Artemis here. I put up a prediction, and everybody said that your PC was gonna crash. Everybody prayed on you down.
100%?
100%. There's nobody that were believing.
Yeah. Well, we upset here at Mississippi State. Okay, I have to go. Bye. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, really fun match. Thanks for having us on stream today. I do have a scrim block to get to. I'm sure Shark or Vex would love to be interviewed though.
Say we interview Vex real quick if they want to.
Vex is very quiet, so good luck. You can drag him. Oh, he might have left already. Panda, see if Vex can come back in VC.
yeah, seems like Vex might
Hello?
a little bit issue on my part, but we're all good now. So, Joe, how are you? How are you feeling, particularly with the Lijiang map? Just
Well, I mean, I don't play that much Orisa. It's not that hard of a tank, but with that, it was a lot of everyone screaming one target. I feel like they didn't have that much target focus. And so like when one of them would run onto the point, we would all scream, Sojourn, Sojourn, Sojourn. And I feel like their team was a little bit more discombobulated than us, which is kind of what it comes down to.
And one thing I did notice, Joe, was whenever Vex was on high ground, absolutely nobody would go for him. He was just
Yeah.
sitting pretty up there.
Yeah, we love to get him on high ground and then just let him do all the work for us. And that
But
usually works
usually a team might consider like at least trying to poke him or something. But the only time he would get poked is when the other soldier would notice him and maybe
Yeah.
go for him.
Yeah, it's really good to keep that Sojourn on high ground. On King's Row, they tried doing the same thing, trying to copy Vex, and they had their Sojourn on high ground first point. And we immediately went and took that high ground away from them because we know like how detrimental that can be if a Sojourn is like left on high ground and you don't have anyone that can contest it.
But y'all honestly, within that first push, y'all completely swapped sides with them. Y'all pushed them towards y'all spawn.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That was kind of a spur of the moment idea. Yeah. Yeah. That Kings they picked King's Row, and that's a really good map for us, and we're just like, yes. They don't know.
They don't know who
But
we
yeah.
are.
Yeah, they don't know what they're going up against.
I did
seems
have
like they
one
didn't do too
question.
much pre-planning.
I did
Yeah.
have one question on the first map. There was a little bit of opposition. It wasn't totally one-sided in y'all's favor.
Yeah.
But how did you like overcome that? Did you come to your teammates, hey, this is what we're gonna need to change because they're working around us, or is there anything in particular that you focused on?
Yeah, I think we were expecting the Rissa mirror, and I think they were on a Ramatra first fight, right? Through that first map.
That is true.
And
yes.
I think they just caught us a little off guard, so we needed to know that that really works when the Ramattra runs in with shield and the Reaper comes in. But if we can bait out the shield and the Nemesis form, and like Reaper Wraith, then that's like really easy to collapse on because that the Orisa comp we were running, you can engage really quickly with Lucio's speed and the tracers in the back line. So we want to take the fight first. But if they're just gonna like run in with their Matra speed and Reaper Wraith, then we're just gonna back out for a second, which we weren't doing at first. But we needed to back out for a second, stabilize, and then run back in. I feel like that was the change that we made.
And I did see y'all doing that a lot though.
Yep.
For like every time one of like the supports or one of the DPS died, I feel like you were like prioritizing just backing the rest of the team up.
Yeah,
into,
because
like, over the bridge again.
yeah, a lot of people overextend. They get a kill, but the thing is, to get that kill, you're gonna have to put in like abilities and reload after shooting that much to actually get a kill. And then if you get that and then you run in with the no abilities, then you're probably gonna trade after that. So it's really important to take a breath and realize what you have, and then go back in with a 5v4.
I mean, I've
What
it's
else is there
been
to say?
yeah. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. That was just
It was just
really
a
great
3-0.
gameplay from
Like,
y'all.
Well, I'll say that we have so that was the first round of playoffs, and we'll have the second round next week on Tuesday at the same time. I don't know if that's going to be able to get streamed, but it should be a little bit harder and should be more
Have
fun.
you been doing any e-stalking about their team, or have you been
No
developing?
e-stalking yet. I don't know who we play because we just they're making like the bracket,
Oh yeah.
and we got to see like who
Okay.
wins the
Okay.
next one. But
Well,
yeah, we're going to do some e-stalking.
congrats on your
Okay.
first game. I'm glad it went well.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us for the interview, and best of luck to you in the future.
All right, thank you guys.
no problem. You have a good day.
And I mean, with the interview over, we had a fantastic game on our hands, and that was just beautiful to see. Don't have anything planned for the rest of tonight, so hope y'all have a lovely night or day wherever you are, and see ya. Hopefully y'all come back next week when they have their next playoff game. Thank y'all.